All right, to all my fellow New Hampshire homeowners, let's talk. Are you just so tired of seeing that mini waterfall pouring over your gutters every single time it rains? You know what I'm talking about. It's super frustrating, right? Well, today, we're going to get to the bottom of this and figure out the absolute best solution for your home here in the Granite State.
I mean, does this picture hit a little too close to home? Yeah, I thought so. You know, that overflow, it's not just an annoying sound. It's basically your house screaming for help. It's a huge red flag that your gutter system is completely overwhelmed and just cannot keep up with the amount of water coming off your roof.
So, what's the real deal here? What's causing these waterfalls? Now sure, a clogged gutter is the usual suspect, and that's definitely part of it. But the bigger issue for us here in New Hampshire is just the sheer intensity of our New England weather. Let's dig into why those standard gutters just, well, they can't handle what our skies throw at them.
Okay, just look at these numbers. This is the sheer volume of water our homes are up against, and we're not just talking about a little summer rain. Think about it. Concord gets almost 68 inches of snow. And Mount Washington? That's just wild, over 280 inches. Now imagine when all that heavy snow starts to melt, or when one of those classic seacoast nor'easters rolls in. Suddenly, a massive wall of water is just flooding your roof all at once.
Right, and all that water? It has to go somewhere. So, that overflow might seem like just a pain, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg. It's the first warning sign. The real damage, the stuff that gets super expensive, that starts when all that water begins pooling right where it absolutely shouldn't be.
You can actually see the whole chain reaction play out here. It's like a domino effect. It starts with that simple overflow, right? But the water doesn't just vanish. Nope, it soaks the ground right next to your house. Then you've got rotting siding and fascia boards, and the final step? Well, it can actually compromise the foundation of your home. We're talking seriously expensive structural damage.
Oh, and he doesn't stop there. Not by a long shot. These overflowing gutters, they're a direct line to basement leaks and washed-out landscaping. And how about pests? All that standing water is basically a 5-star resort for mosquitoes. And don't even get me started on winter. That backed-up water freezes solid, creating these massive, destructive ice dams that can literally rip your gutters right off the side of your house.
Okay, so after all that doom and gloom about damage, let's talk solutions. Because thankfully, there is a solution. And it's actually pretty straightforward. It all comes down to size. So let's put the two most common options head-to-head. The classic 5-inch versus the 6-inch K-style gutter.
So, the biggest, most important difference is right here, water capacity. Look at this. A standard 5-inch gutter, it holds about 1.2 gallons of water per foot. But when you jump up to a 6-inch gutter, that number goes all the way to 2 gallons per foot. That one little inch might not sound like much, but it means it can handle a way bigger roof, and when you pair it with a larger downspout, it just gets that water away from your house so much faster.
And this chart really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? We are talking about a capacity increase of almost 70%. That is huge. Think about it. During one of those classic New Hampshire downpours, that extra space is literally the difference between water flowing safely away from your home and water just pouring right down next to your foundation.
All right, so we know the 6-inch holds more water. That's a fact. But the big question is, does your home actually need one? Because bigger isn't always necessary. But for a lot of us here in New Hampshire, it's a really critical upgrade. So let's walk through a simple checklist to help you figure it out.
Okay, so have a look here. A 5-inch gutter might be perfectly fine for you if you have a smaller roof, a pretty gentle slope, and not a lot of complicated valleys. But a 6-inch gutter becomes pretty much essential if you've got a larger roof or a really steep pitch, like on so many of our beautiful historic homes in places like Wolfboro or Meredith. It's also, for sure, the better choice if you're surrounded by trees, since it handles more leaves and pine needles, and it's an absolute must-have if your home is prone to those awful ice dams.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. What's this going to cost me? And yeah, of course there's a price difference. But it's so important to think about this not just as another expense, but as a real investment in the health and value of your home for the long haul.
Exactly. A smart investment, not just an upgrade. That really nails it. You're not just doing a cosmetic tweak here. This is all about prevention. It's a move that can literally pay for itself many times over by helping you avoid those nightmare repairs down the road.
Look, a 6-inch system might cost you, say, 20% more upfront. But now, compare that number to the thousands, and I mean thousands of dollars, you could spend fixing a cracked foundation, pumping out a flooded basement, or replacing all your rotted fascia boards. Making the right choice right now saves you so much money and headache later on.
So, we've walked through the problem, the scary consequences, and the solution.
What's the best next step for you to actually protect your home here in the Granite State? Well, the key, really, is talking to someone who doesn't just hang gutters for a living, but who actually gets our crazy local weather.
And this is where that local expertise is everything. I'm talking about a team like New England Gutter Systems. These guys have been working on homes only here in New Hampshire for more than 20 years. I mean, from the Lake Winnipesaukee area in Wolfeboro down to Concord and all along the seacoast, they've seen it all. They know our January ice dams, they know our summer downpours, and they know exactly what it takes to protect a home here.
At the end of the day, the goal is simple, right? The next time a storm rolls through, you shouldn't have to watch that waterfall. By thinking about your roof, your yard, and our wild weather, you can make a smart choice for your home. So what is the right choice to protect your home from everything New Hampshire throws at it? Really, the only way to know for sure is to get a real assessment from a local pro who's seen it all.